We're going over 6 shots of dynamic camera movements in Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, so you can see how the director uses dollies, whooshing helicopter shots to charge the story. Don't miss the puzzle at the end so you can practice being a director yourself. See how the director Peter Jackson crafts his story. A lot of camera moves are short and small, but put these 2 shots together and you've got a mystery that needs to be solved. How did you tease characters and audiences noticing clues? How do you sprinkle on the rising tension of mystery without yet making it our focus? Before he even knew there was a mystery, Gandalf noticed.
111 years old, who would believe it? You haven't aged a day.
We dolly in on Gandalf's quizzical expression, starting the mystery and tension. It stops and his dialogue,
You haven't aged a day.
which doesn't wrap off Gandalf's quizzical expression, but does release and start the major question, why haven't you? The stop gives an extra emphasis on the words that are spoken. Although the audience already knows the answer to this mystery, Gandalf won't solve it until a couple sequences later. Gandalf receives the next clue 6 minutes later. Bilbo disappears in front of everyone. Everyone is surprised, even Frodo, who is in a close-up. But it isn't until Gandalf's close-up do we dolly in even closer. Gandalf doesn't say anything this time. The camera stops on a curious Gandalf. Gandalf is now on another level and is now fully on the case to solve the mystery about the ring.
What about this ring of yours? Is that staying too?
Yes. It's in an envelope over there on the mantelpiece.
The camera moves, hikes us up the rising tension, and then leaves us on this level without an immediate climax or denouement. With several supporting camera move shots, this is the best vertigo shot that I've seen so far. Let's see how they all work together. We started on a moment of comedy, giving us the best contrast to reveal something dark and dangerous.
Shortcut to what?
The mushrooms!
This gives us a specific beat for us to go from one to the other. Frodo is looking down, but at what? The road. Earlier Gandalf told us,
Travel only by day. And stay off the road.
but there's also a wisp of sound that turns his head down the road. The next shot starts low on the ground. This is where Frodo is looking, and although not giving his objective POV, does give us a subjective view of what Frodo is focusing on. When looking for ideas in your own filmmaking, ask yourself whose scene is it to inspire you. This is our vertigo shot. The camera is on a dolly pushing back while the lens is zooming. Everything feels like it's coming closer, and it seems unnaturally, almost mystical. The next shot starts emphasizing on the blowing leaves, working on the mystic magic. That's why the vertigo shot works so well for me. It's working off things directly in the world. The sounds on Frodo's head and the blowing leaves. So having it work on something the audience can tangibly see and hear works great. This kind of shot might be best for ghost stories and magic. Going back to the shot. The crane pushes in on Frodo, representing 3 things: the realization and magic Frodo is feeling, which are fused together, and the sound, the physical approach of the ring wraith. The first tension really revealed by having it as if the crane, the magic, blows the leaves, stops with the crane in. The crane comes to a stop, stopping that momentum and tension. Immediate tension resolved, while the scene's tension is just getting started. The third tension of the approaching ring wraiths, the climax of which will happen later. Why would you use 2 dolly shots of the same character right next to each other? They've entered the mine and are realizing everyone inside is dead. When Gandalf lines up his staff, we can see the bodies, but we don't see him notice yet. We cut to Gimli, who still doesn't realize. This is a long time for them not to notice what the audience has already noticed. Usually it's not a good idea to leave the audience waiting for the characters to catch up to them. But I think Gandalf would have noticed it way back here and said something, creating confusion for me. But he waits to these shots to have the group realizing everyone in the mine is dead.
This is no mine. It's a tomb.
It's first a slow dolly in on Boromir. We cut while it's still in motion, and then a faster dolly in on him again from an angle 30 degrees away that he turns into. It doesn't pick up where the first dolly left off, it starts further back. How far do you want your dolly to travel? Both go from a medium to a close-up. He turns into the second one, which is good blocking move for a realization. He turns into a thought and into the second dolly shot. A curve track can support turning into a new thought too.
You bred raptors.
For a dolly in, you would have to do it in 2 shots to catch both sides of the thought. On the second dolly shot, we stop, because it's the realization moment for the character.
It's a tomb.
There's a lot of traveling in this movie. How do you show people are being pursued, but aren't in immediate danger? There are 3 beats in this. 1, we are traveling without being followed. 2, we are being pursued. And 3, we know they are being followed, but they aren't going to be catched up to right now. Exposition, rising action, and climax denouement. Music is so powerful in telling the audience what stage they are in. This shot here is calm and slowly goes from one boat or one person to the other. The camera here mirrors the calmness of the other shot, but that feeling changes in showing how relentless the orcs are just by the music. We've moved into the rising action. The camera is moving fast, and by going toward them doesn't signify they will be overtaken any moment. We have a lot of running shots on the orcs, so the rising action point has been made, and then we get this helicopter shot. Looking low at the trees, presumably where the orcs are, and then shows this big empty space where the heroes aren't there. They are still far away, but the camera's up to look at the scenery. The orcs are coming point driven in the rising action, but they are close, shown by the trees, to nothing yet. Is the climax and the denouement. It's always fascinating seeing a dolly-in shot change from one feeling to another while the dolly-in is happening.
Frodo! Out here, quick! Come on! What's he doing? He's leaving.
It's more than the normal rising tension on one thought or feeling. First off, the dolly shot is actually 2, one on Merry and Pippin, and the other one who they are looking at Frodo. We dolly in on Merry and Pippin. The rising tension is about the danger they are asking of Frodo. We cut to Frodo, and his dolly in is traveling the same speed, but is slowing down. It's almost as if it's the continuation of the other shot. It stops on Frodo. He tells them no. We cut to the realization, the climax of the moment. It starts on the tension about the danger and turns into a moment of realization for Pippin. He wasn't having the realization at the beginning of Dolly-in because Frodo hadn't even reacted yet. Now it's your turn to put yourself in the director's shoes. Tell us your thoughts about the why and how of this next shot in the comments section. In this scene, Bilbo has just given up the ring, leaving it home as he goes away.
I thought up an ending for my book.
Those are all the shots I have for you. Check out the About section for the calendar. Subscribe, hit notifications.